racism doesn't exist.
Crime is the new black entitlement.
So there's literally no proof of a consensual relationship, and the amazing Lucas is going around making that claim, which is outlandish.
You say? Because of time.
Well, he's incorrect on both regards. When it comes to the evidence for him, when it comes to the evidence, well, we had the medical examiners who said that DNA evidence is now, they recant what they previously said, which was signs of rape. Yeah. They're now saying that it's signs of consensual sex.
You liar!
We found a dead body in the grass. A young woman who didn't have any enemies. And what do we find in her vagina? A dude's semen. Who was the dude? Rodney Reed. It's pretty compelling. It's pretty damn compelling. Now, let me just break you off something here. Please understand, when they asked Rodney Reed, have you ever met Stacey Stites? Do you know this woman? He said, nope, don't know her, have no knowledge of her, never met her in my life. They go, that's funny because your semen is in her. He goes, oh, actually, yeah, second thought, oh yeah, my bad. On second thought, yeah, I'm having a secret relationship with her. She's a fun girl. In fact, now that you mention it, the semen thing, I slept with her the night before she was murdered. So Rodney is saying, I forget what day this happened on, but let's say she was killed on a Monday morning. He's saying on the Sunday morning prior, early, like 3 in the morning, he f***ed her. And he dropped a thick, dirty, stringy load. One of those, it was tainted. It was stained with a yellow tint. Okay, there's a little urine in his semen. But he dropped it in her pussy, in her ass. He did both. And that happened on Sunday morning, according to Rodney. Now, you are supposed to believe that this woman who is hiding, wink, wink, tick, tick, hiding this relationship from her fiancé, who she lives with, she is supposed to have left that in her vagina. We're talking about semen with their tails, okay? Not between their legs, because they have no legs, but just fresh semen. Left it in her, went to work, came home, took a nap, hung out, laughed with the boyfriend, took a shower. I mean, that's the other thing. She took a shower. That's what they did that day. They got...
What time Jimmy got home that afternoon?
When he got off from his shift. But I saw him come in. I saw him sit on my couch. I saw him interact with Jennifer and Stacy.
And was this during the afternoon?
Yes.
They got home. They took a shower together. Jimmy Fennell and his girl, Stacy. Okay. So then she wakes up. She might have taken another shower in the morning. She wakes up 3 in the morning. The next day, Monday, comes out, and then next thing you know, she's missing. They find her body. What do you know? But the semen is still in her? Huh? It doesn't make any sense. The timing doesn't work, Rodney.
See, they didn't just find Rodney Reed's DNA in the form of semen inside Stacey's body, which hypothetically, theoretically, could have been left a couple of days prior, which would line up with Rodney Reed's account of events that he hooked up with Stacey a couple of days before she died. They also found Rodney Reed's DNA in the form of saliva across Stacey's chest. Going off of whatever you hear in the media and you actually look into the original source documents, you'll find it there plain as day that there was DNA in the form of saliva across Stacey's chest, and that DNA was a match for Rodney Reed. Now, why is this so significant?
So Stacey Stites went home to her husband with Rodney Reed's saliva on her chest, went to bed with him, and then woke up with him the next day and went off to work. That's
well,
what
if you look at the as far as the documentary, the documentary.
I don't believe women. I don't believe men. I believe facts and evidence.
The documentary. It covers all of that when it talks about the anus.
Like the Central Park 5 documentary. How about you read the actual evidence instead of propaganda film?
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that it's propaganda film. I just choose to be, to take information. The documentary.
Because while semen evidence can be maintained even if the person showers after having sexual intercourse, for a couple of days inside the body, the same is not true for saliva across the chest. Stacy would have had to have not showered after her alleged consensual sexual encounter with Reed from a couple of days before her body was found in order for that DNA to be maintained. On top of that, the saliva was wet. That's how the forensic investigators noticed it. So she would have also had to have preserved wet spit across her chest in order for the forensic guys to see it, to then sample it, and then test it against Rodney Reed. Which means that Rodney Reed was with Stacy Stites a lot closer to her time of death than he indicates that he was.
Exactly. That is, I mean, let's just call off the dogs. This is over. GG, y'all. Good game. I mean, even if you went with the Rodney Reed story that this is a secret affair, if some guy just you and dumped a load in you and is slobbing all over you, and you're about to go re-engage with your fiance, you don't think a shower might be advantageous? Absurd. This man raped and killed her.
The program, we reached out to Stacy's sisters.
God, Phil's face is such a goofy mess, isn't it?
And although they didn't want to be part of this discussion, which I respect and understand, they wanted to make sure people understood their position regarding Rodney, and they provided us with this statement. Over the past 20 plus years, an elaborate story has been created trying to blame my sister's murder on her fiance. The stories supporting Rodney always fail to tell the whole truth. They don't mention that Rodney had been accused of rape before, but he was acquitted of that case because that victim was his, quote, secret girlfriend. They fail to mention that he is indicted in several other rape cases. They fail to mention that 6 months after murdering my sister, Rodney attempted to abduct a woman. That victim was able to get away and identified Rodney as the man that attacked her. Rodney Reed is a brutal rapist and murderer. My sister was young and in love and getting married. Her life was taken by Rodney Reed. We are confident that the right man is on death row. Stacy's sister's position is that Rodney has a violent past, yet he was never convicted of any other charges.
Never convicted. And that is a statement as to women's rights in the 80s, the late 80s and early 90s. That's what that is a testament to.
Nor was he indicted on what she said he was indicted on.
Yes, he was indicted, not officially legally on many of those cases, but those women were victimized and they did come forward, and they came forward in this case. But look at him try to brush over, oh, none of that happened. That's all fake. Rodney didn't do over and over. He's a repeat offending didn't do.
When I sat down with Rodney, I asked point blank about his past sexual assault allegations.
Oh, good job, Dr. Phil. Get to the heart of the matter. You asked the guy if he did it, and he said no. Well, I'm convinced.
Here's what he had to say. Now, do you have any idea why they zeroed in on you to begin with?
Any idea? We found his semen in a dead body.
Because they had to test that DNA against yours in order to know it was you. Why you?
There was other allegations before in my past. That was not true because I didn't do any of that.
It didn't do any of that. All right, guys, drive home safe. There's nothing else to see here. I think we're all satisfied.
What were the allegations in the past?
Assault cases.
Assault? It's sexual assault, you fuck. You raped them.
The assault cases that they have brought up about you in the past were that you have assaulted other females, and they brought some of those to court, right?
Yes, they did.
To make those allegations, including accusing you of raping a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, really? A 12-year-old girl?
Did you ever have any kind of contact with a 12-year-old girl?
No, I don't do that stuff.
You don't. You do that stuff, Rodney. Rodney, do you know why you're sitting behind a glass wall? It's because you do. You don't didn't do, you do. You're do, dude.
So why have you been accused of multiple situations of sexual violence?
I believe jealousy and
Did you buy that, what he just said? That it was all about people being jealous and, I mean, is it going to be racism? Is it jealousy against Rodney? The world's out to get him. Why do 7 women come and testify, ready to testify in his death penalty case? And some of them did in the punishment phase. In the hashtag #MeToo generation that we live in, Why are these women not being given any credence whatsoever?
Myself in the mirror, how can I explain? Oh, I'm guilty as hell. Oh, whoops, I made the same mistake again. It's so hard to get off and break the chains that leave the scars so hard to heal. Oh, how can I look at myself in the mirror? Oh, and how can I explain? Oh, I'm guilty as hell.